Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab. I do what I do for you. Oh, I got something nice for you today. It's all female time, fellas. Take a back seat. Let's learn something about our ladies. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right things way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question: do you know you? You will when I'm through. It's rhetorical, but if you know the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Right thinkers, let's talk about the path of the goddess. Okay? The goddess aspect of creation. Remember, Mayat says you can't have one without the other, and this is going to play it out for you from the female aspect. The female principle, there we go, is is prominent in the ancient Egyptian mythology. Wow, and religious iconography. Why? Because there is a recognition that creation is composed of what? Complementary opposites: yin, yang, man, woman, up, down, in, out, opposites that come together to make a whole. Heads, tails, okay? Now, what that mean? This means that creation is a mixture of both male and female elements, which cannot exist what without each other. Can't have one without the other. The ancient Egyptian sages discovered what? That when there is an imbalance between these principles, no more than the other, what happened? There is strife and unrest in human life. For all you people who have a problem with your sexual orientation, a male thinking he's female or a female thinking she's male, that's just a mindset of imbalance with your thought process. Nothing to do with nothing else. And if y'all treat that as such, we take care of that problem. Moving on. Don't offer that as a lifestyle. When there is balance and harmony, watch this. What happens? There is peace and prosperity. Okay? Doing the right thing, some reason things just prosper. And therefore what? The God must have his female counterpart and the goddess, and vice versa. Get it? And this teaching brings up many principles of what? Tantric. The Tantric yoga philosophy basically goes with the male and female, and the sexual intercourse is positions and different reasons and different all stuff like that, but it's all based on the male and female concept. And many of these will be discussed throughout this volume. For more information about this topic of said tantric yoga, he got a book, Egyptian Tantric Yoga, from the Egyptian Yoga book series from Dr. Muata Ashby. I got all his books. Okay. Now, in ancient Egyptian creation myth, there we go. We let you know it's myth. It holds that all came into existence out of what? Out of the Garden of Eden? No. Out of the lab from the barrel? No. Out of the primeval ocean of of unformed matter. They call it the duat. The teaching of the fullness, here we go, of what? The primeval ocean is to be found in the book of Coming Forth by Day, all right? And the Heka, the utterance, Ptah uttered himself into existence. That was the concept. And in the chapter, was that 17, it gives an exact description of this concept of what we call fullness and of the female nature of the primeval ocean. Yud Initiate says, behold, Ra, who was born yesterday, where? From the buttocks of the goddess, what? Mihert. She was represented by the cow in regalia. I told you about her. We're going to talk more about her. She represents karma, and she also represents what? The mighty four one. In the answer to the question, what then is this? It explains, it is the watery abyss, y'all said in the Bible, the watery abyss of what? Heaven, or as others say, it is the image of the eye of Ra in the morning at his daily birth. Mihert is the eye, the Ucha of Ra, that thing up in the sky. Okay? Female aspect. Watch this. Now, Mihert was originally the female embodiment of the water, the watery matter, the primeval ocean, from which what? From which the substance of the world was formed, and from which Ra himself emerged. Now I'm going to let it go, play out. Ra is the daughter or the son of Mihert. He got an enemy. Apophis is also birthed from my girl Mihert. Watch this. Now, the primeval order, ocean, is seen as what? Androgynous, meaning male and female, essence from which all arose in the form of what? Opposites. When Atum, Ra, whoever came out of the noon, the first thing they did, set in order, Mayat. After that, they needed air. No, excuse me. Then you got Tahuti. Then you got the eye. Those are the three things that you show understanding from God that he started before he even brought anything existing. Then he needed air. He needed moisture air, running from the water. Shu, Tafnut, earth, Gab, heaven, Nuke, starry-decked heaven, and galaxy, all that. Okay? But that was time and space. There was something going on before time and space. When they say transcend that, it was something going on before that. That's what we're trying to get you to understand. Now, that starts time and space, a.k.a. the Big Bang. Once Ra set the stage for daylight against Apophis, it's been an ongoing fight ever since. But now, Mihert, again, means mighty fullness. The noon was mighty full, waiting to be birthed, waiting to give birth. She gave birth to Ra, symbolically, metaphorically. I thought Ra, yeah, listen to the story. This is all metaphorical. I can do whatever I want, make it be whatever I want to get the point across to teach a lesson. That's what this is all about. And why his? She symbolizes the what? The infinite source of what? Matter, which is impregnated by who? The male spirit. This is one of the reasons why one of the symbols of Amun, the hidden one, okay, ancient Egyptian name for God, supreme being, is what? Is a pregnant woman. The hieroglyph for Amun is a woman that's pregnant. Okay, watch this. Of course, the female primeval matter and the male spirit are what? Still both aspects of what? The same energy. There you go. Understand this. And this is expressed how? In the last line of the utterance where it explains that what? Mihert herself is the image of the eye of Ra. When Shua Tafnut got lost, he sent the eye out, came back, he already placed it, so she became the eye of Ra. And the eye of Ra is what? Ra's own daughter. Y'all know as Hathor or Haru. That's house and spirit. Ra lives in what? Every physical being, which is the spirit that's in all physical beings. And watch this. She is his dynamic expression in the world of what? Time and space, which he projects from his abode, which is outside time and space, aka that other realm, okay? That only those who is worthy, because when he left Earth, he says, I'm tired of y'all people. So only those who can get to me, the ones who prove themselves worthy. Hence, past the scales of my yacht. That's what the concept goes. All right, where we at? Now, Meher, again, is depicted as a cow. During that time, the bull, guess what zodiac sign we was in? Taurus. When Amun, we was in Aries. When the lion, we was in Leo. Pisces, we just left Pisces. We're in what? Aquarius. After this, we'll be in Capricorn. This is understanding how nature works. You can keep time by celestial time. Why? It don't lie. That's why. And I just learned that, so I like to show it over chance like that just fascinates me. But Meher was depicted as the great cow. Why? She's the opposite of what? The bull. Pay attention. You might learn something. Now, she's the cow goddess and brimming with what? Life-giving essence. Hello? The symbol of the cow is also common to what? Hathor, Nut, and Aset. The story goes, when Haru got mad at her for letting Set get away, he cut her head off. And Tahuti put it back with what? The cow head. So you see, I said sometimes with the cow head, looking like Hathor with the cow head with the throne, okay, with her emblem on it, but it's the cow head. See? Story. It goes that way. Love them. But the goddess is what? In the form of a cow is what? Often referred to as what? The sevenfold deity, known as the seven Hathors, or the seven cows, who what? Who preside over what? The life of each individual. The Kundalini, the chakras, we understood it as being the feathers, the mayats, the knots of mayat, the seven chains of mayat, okay? And if you make it to the third, Amit bites from 3 down. When the fourth, you got a chance. But that's the concept. But they ties it on in. I know that too, so I'm just trying to show off a little bit right now. But the sevenfold, that number 7 is important. Watch this. You got the 7 known as the 7 Hathors who preside over the life, okay, of every individual and the course of creation itself. 7 planets, okay. This title refers to the future differentiation of what? The 3 primordial principles of the Trinity of who? Asar, Aset, and Haru. Your mother, your father, and me, and you. That's the first Trinity for physical. Other Trinities, Amen, Ra, Putta, that's all in another level. This is the physical level where we can relate to because it pertains to us. Watch this. Which is expressed how? In the phenomenal universe through a series of what? 7s. This number 7 is expressed in what? All levels of creation. And also what? Is the 7 primary what? Colors of the rainbow. 7 chakras. And this principle of 7 translated into what? Gnostic idea of the 7 planetary spirits. 7 days of the week, 7 chakras, okay? All that's important. And now you got the Christian, they got the concept of 7, what? The Christian archangels, known as the what? The heads of the celestial hosts, were titled the 7 archangels, of the what? Presence. 7 is also a special number, I gave that lesson a while ago, to the what? Ancient Egyptian goddess Sachet. Didn't know that. She wear the headset with the first marijuana leaf. She sometimes it got the 7 planets, or sometimes it got the 9. That's the marijuana plant. But she's Tahuti's counterpart. She's the librarian. She was the original female part who supposed to did all the right and they give all the proper to Tahuti. Okay, she got measurements. She know all her stuff. She's part of your, again, aspect of you, wisdom that you can learn. Moving on, but you got Aset. Excuse me, where we are down here? 7. Okay, then you got the Egyptian. Well, you got Aset, Hathor in ancient Egypt, and they symbolize what? The source of creation. What you mean? Her udder produced the Milky Way. Remember, she leaning over. Nope. Excuse me, that's Aset, Hathor, excuse me. But the Milky Way. And she was the what? The great cow, which gave birth to who? Ra. And the great goddess, the mother of all gods and goddess. Listen, the lady who exists when nothing else had been come into being, and who created that which came into being. And the cow is therefore a prominent representation of who? Aset and Hathor or Het Hadu, in her form as what? 7 cows. Watch this. Het Hadu, again, Hathor, another name, is an aspect, right there, is an aspect of Aset, and it symbolizes the 7 energy chakra systems which course through the universe and which are what? Engendered by, you know who? The bull, which represented by who? Aset, the male spiritual part. Again, they got to go together in the male aspect of what? The supreme being. He separates himself. I was 1, I became 3. Male and female became he. The bull is what? The metaphor in the astrological sign at that time that represent the spirit. Just as the what? Bull on the farm, what he do? Sire many cows. So the bull, again, supreme spirit, is in the male concept. The reception is nature and engenders all life in creation. In India, the mythology that they use, the cow, and it's sacred to them too, okay, is similar to symbolism as that of who? Ancient Egyptian class concept. The cow is known as what? The fountain of milk or curds. In the mystical sense, the world is a curd of the milk which emanates from what? The celestial cow goddess. The eye of Ra is what? Is Ra's creative principle in the female aspect. Again, these creation, thus creation itself is what? Is an image of God, both male and female. The primordial essence from which creation arises and that which arises as creation are what? Images of God in much, watch this the caveat. The same way as your thoughts and your dreams are images of your consciousness. God is all conscious. So he have thought and understanding of all things. But we as individuals, we can do the same thing within ourselves. That's the difference. And become conscious of who we are, which is, again, God. And now I'm taking it home. I see I got a little time. Now through the interplay of what? The male and female principles on infinite variety of forms and can arise. This is the cause of what? Multiplicity. From that too, it started just going. And there is seen in what? Creation. That is seen in creation. Why? Because the multiplicity of what? Chemicals, elements, and the infinite variety that they come, shapes and forms, which are what? Are possible through what? Their combinations, and in reality, they're expressions of the two principles, what? The opposites, aka duality. Ooh, I love that. Duality, which are in expressions of what? The one, singular, and what they call non-dual essence. God is the one, singular. And all of the multiplicity is in reality what? Again, expressions of the two principles, duality, which when examined closely, what happened? With keen and philosophical understanding, esoteric reasoning, in an intuitive mind, an intellectual mind, you will find what? To be in reality a singular or non-dual principle. That's why God is the one. This is the deeper meaning of what the ancient Egyptian, what we practice right thinkers, teaching. I became from one God to what? God's three, which is what was presented earlier. I told you about that, where what? God tells us he was one essence and then transformed himself into three. Okay, that earlier, wrapping it up. So these three constitute what? The basis of multiplicity in creation, and the duality, along with the interaction between the two, makes what? The three principles. The two opposite and something to make them go together. That's the concept. That's why you got, however, I got to get this out the way. However, the substratum of all the concepts of monotheism, of all creation, the Trinity and duality is what? Really oneness. One becoming three. Before he was dual, he was one. And with the dual, he became three. Hope you understand that. Let's go. Taking it in. And this oneness has been translated into what they call religion. As the concept of what? Monotheism and the Trinity. One God with three concepts. However, monotheism is understood in the Western religions, such as you call Orthodox Christianity, Orthodox Islam, and Orthodox Judaism, and others, is not the same monotheism implied in the teachings of what? Yoga and Egyptian mystical religions, such as the Egyptian mysteries, the Vedantas, the Sufism, you got Buddhism, and the Tao, etc. They practice philosophies, not belief systems. And in the Western religion, taking it in, here we go, pay attention. Monotheism applies that there is one God. No, what the Judaism did, y'all took a God, Yahweh, one out of many. They made him, that ain't monotheism, that's picking. So moving on, and watch this. Y'all chose one God who exists. In fact, this is the problem with me with religion, and is what? The watcher over his creation. My God is in his creation. Religious gods practice the God that steps out of creation, and God is conceptualized as a male figure, which is cool, who is what? Separate from creation. That's where I cut y'all off. And what? He manages it from afar. God sits up high and watch down low. I know he got perfect vision. He see all, but I say he had to be in his creation. Moving on. That's my difference. And in the mystical science, which is again science proven, monotheism applies that what? God is the only being that truly exists. And therefore all that exists is an expression, what? Of the one divine God. That's why they call him the all, the absolute. Excuse me, calm down. God expresses as nature, so you can know him, and the stars, your body, your thoughts, your senses, all physical objects, all good and even evil. Yeah, God made evil too. Why? People, etc. Choices, free will. If you had all good, you wouldn't have free will to be bad. If you had all bad, you had no free will to be good. That's the concept. Moving on. And what? God is everything for me, just as everything in your dreams is your reality, an expression of who? Your own consciousness. But God is not separate from his creation. Hear it again. God is not separate from his creation, but is imminent in creation. I mean, he's always there. God is God is never far from you until you recognize it is far, because you don't know, you're ignorant. But as close as you are, every thought, close to your every thought, your every breath, your every sensation, your every feeling. Thus, that which transcends the phenomenal world of time and space is what? Full, complete, whole. And the phenomenal world, which is what? An expression of the eternal, is also full at every moment you are embracing the glory of who? God. Be thankful, merciful, and grateful. At every moment, not just sometime or not just on Sunday, at every moment, regardless of your life's circumstances, where you don't know it, believe it, don't believe it, don't make a difference. You are full. Even if you were to what? Become blind or to lose an arm or leg, you would what? You would remain full, just as, watch this, taking it in, just as injuries of in your dreams, personality, what? It do not affect you. Oh, and just as you lay in bed, what? So too, your transcendental self, true self, is unaffected. Why? By any of conditions that you experience by your body or your mind, aka your ego personality. The true part of you don't feel none of the nonsense that you go through, okay? So let it lead you. Why? Because it's only going to tell you what's right. And if you listen to yourself, you're going to make some mistakes, and guess what? You got to pay for them. If the decision you make to do don't reward you with a blessing, you shouldn't have done it. Oh, everything I got to be, no, but if you just do the right thing, you won't have to be, what? Punished. Moving on. I would rather be blessed than punished, so I'd rather do the right thing than the wrong thing. Been there, done that. That's the lesson. I'll be back. Oh, I got some good stuff coming up. So, in closing, right thing is, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thing is passed away. Oh, I'll be back. You know how we do.